Getting old and dying is better than watching this one. I'm Justin.
Tom Berenger, more like Tom Butt Guy Inger. I'm Sam.
I hope that when I'm that age, somebody asks me to sign their boobs. I'm Jackie, and this is Supervized on Stinker Madness.
Hello and welcome to Stinker Madness, a podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. I'm your host Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the show, doesn't help you the movie when you announce it as Supervized. You can't make it sound cool, Jackie, when you stretch it out.
I can do whatever the hell I want, okay? This is my podcast. I allow you to be on it so that, there's a male presence on this podcast.
Somebody brought the sass. Did that make her sound cooler? Because I said sass, Sam.
Salsa.
Jackie likes to be salsa. She's spicy. This week on the show, Supervised from 2019, starring Tom Berenger's ass, Beau Bridges, Louis Gossett Jr., a couple old guys I've seen before, and that's about it. Currently streaming on Amazon Prime. I didn't like it, so I'm going to just get right into it and have Sam talk about it as rapidly as possible so that we can get through this.
So the director of this film, Steve Barron, is basically music video... What?
Steve Berenger.
Steve
Tom.
Butt Guy Inger. He's kind of like the royalty of music videos, not
McG. He's above McG.
Okay, well, let me tell you. So There's a handful of videos that are sort of like MTV considers like without these, we might have just been a flash in the pan, and it would have been more music videos like Monkees, and Led Zeppelin did a few here and there. There was always like a weird music video thing, and they would play them at various points if they had no other programming, but it wasn't like a channel.
Right.
Dire Straits, Money for Nothing, Aha, Take Me On.
That's a big one.
Madonna, Burning Up, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, and Thomas Dolby, Blinded Me with Science. He did all 5 of those.
Okay.
Wow.
Big. Yeah, pretty important.
Yeah, and that's just a short list of the ones that are really impressive, because he did other ones that are probably top 100 too. But I mean, he did a metric fuck ton of music videos. Adam and the Ants is kind of where he started. Did most of Toto's shit, most of Sheena Easton's shit, The Human League, Fleetwood Mac, Squeeze, Madonna, Michael Jackson, Kenny Loggins, Dolly Parton, Loverboy, Tears for Fears, Rod Stewart, Bryan Adams, most of his shit, Dexy and the Midnight Runners, Styx, Culture Club, ZZ Top, Supertramp, Don Henley, David Bowie, Paul McCartney, and of course Dire Straits and Aha.
Okay, to name so you just listed off every single band that has ever existed, ever. So,
not quite.
But I mean,
never got his hands on the crew.
Good resume. Yeah.
Because he was like, I'm not touching that shit. That's crap. I make art, not crap.
He didn't have the crew or the Cure. So this guy sucks.
Yeah. His first film, which I've still never seen, but I've been told to watch it over and over again by various people, is Electric Dreams, which has a bit of a following. I've still never seen it. He would follow that with the first live action 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
All right. We have seen that.
And then he would follow that with Coneheads, and then things would not get so great on the silver screen for him. But when all of these people are doing like their musical retrospectives, when all of a sudden these big artists are starting to sell like full concert tapes and cassettes of like you buying a Madonna movie that's a series of interviews and music videos and performances, he's putting all those together for all these people too.
Okay.
And he does a lot of good TV shows. So he stayed more than relevant in the music industry and in television. So even though he didn't really like stay on top in Hollywood or in the middle or wherever, TMNT and Coneheads put you on the grand scheme of things, he did just fine.
Mm-hmm.
He did just fine.
Do you suppose I'm assuming that there's some sort of royalties for music videos, like everybody gets paid whenever everybody gets paid? It's not just the artist and the record company, right? Everybody on the crew still gets paid, right?
Who knows? With the internet really fucking up royalties, who knows?
Yeah, I'm curious if you can be rich for directing all that stuff.
I couldn't find the circumstances as to why he bothered with this, because he had better TV shows on either side of it. It's like he was bored that day, or he was doing a favor to somebody is the only reason that he would direct this, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense, but he did. And it was done in Ireland for apparently tax reasons, I'm guessing, because there's no other reason you'd shoot this in Ireland, right? Because that's where
fit in the story.
The Madeira of the Night. What is her name, Jackie?
Madeira of the Night.
You don't remember off the top of your... I thought you were going to like this a lot better than both of us.
Fiona Nuala Flanagan.
Yeah, I know who that... No shit. What was her name in the movie? Because I thought you were going to like it more than us.
Oh, Madeira.
Okay. Not... All right. Never mind.
Okay.
So she's...
I think her character's name was Moonlight. Her superhero's name was Moonlight.
Her superhero's name was Moonlight.
Moonlight Madeira. Asking? That's what it is. Okay, we got there finally. All right. She's Fiona Flanagan. She's a big deal in Ireland.
Is she the 5th most popular actor in Irish film history?
It did not say anything that stupid, no.
Okay, so it's not the same person.
I didn't spend any time on the actors because this movie sucks so bad, but
yeah, sure.
Here's what I wrote down for Beau Bridges, Louis Gossett Jr., and Tom Berenger. Wizards should know better. None of them should be in this movie, but actually, Beau Bridges just does fucking whatever, right?
Whatever, yeah.
That guy's list has got to be in the 200s now.
Probably.
He just rolls out of bed into a movie or a TV show and then rolls out of it asleep. He's just he's on a spin cycle of being asleep and being on screen of some sort. He says no to nothing. And then the guy that plays Brian, the Russian guy, Ilya Baskin, he's a known dumpster diver, so of course he's in this movie.
Right.
The gal that plays the evil lead or whatever, Fiona Glasgow, I think it's funny that we have Fiona and Fiona Lula, the two female leads here. She's also Irish, but she was recently just did Julia, and she had another highlight, The Duel in 2010.
Oh yeah, she was in The Duel. That's god damn. And I really fucking like The Duel. It got shit on because of COVID, but Duel's awesome.
No, not that one, the one in 2010.
Oh, I don't know.
It's a different one, but it was well received. She might have been, it doesn't say that she was in the newer one, but either way, she can't say no to this because it's a paying gig, right? Mm-hmm. But it sucks because she should be doing better. But she was just in Julia.
She was
high up on the list,
Sam.
so that's better. And maybe she's going places that aren't this. Because sometimes you get in these movies and you get stuck in doing shit like this and you'll never get out. And so hopefully she gets out. She's not bad. She's very pretty, so that's good for her.
Okay.
She is in the Fantastic Beast series.
Okay.
Which is the spinoff of the Harry Potter stuff. So,
yeah. But I think you're hung up on something here, Sam. Yes, she's pretty good looking. She also stunk in this movie. So, good looking's not enough. She stunk.
Yeah.
She stunk.
She's not in Fantastic. Oh, maybe she is. How about that? No. Whatever. Yeah. Did she stink any?
She stunk. She was bad.
I thought Louis Gossett Jr. stunk the worst.
He's pretty bad.
Tom Berenger seems to be bulletproof because he just does what he just does his Tom Berenger, and it just kind of rolls his Berenger through the film, and you get Tom Berenger, and it seems to be a bulletproof plan. He doesn't fuck anything up, but he's not really trying hard either.
How come Tom Berenger isn't on my CBS shows? Why doesn't he have like let's say Tracker? Like he's the guy that he's Charlie of Tracker. Like he puts Tracker, like, go find him. Tom Berenger. That's a perfect, like if Tom Selleck's still out there doing Blue Bloods, or maybe he's not. How come Tom Berenger's not on the CBS? It's a perfect fit for him. He should have like 5 shows on CBS. Mark Harmon, come on.
I don't know.
Dude, he would be
He's 75.
awesome, like as a like a police guy.
Yeah, he
Private
could do the
detective.
police guy. He could do the PI guy, but he's got to be. He can't be the lead. He's Tom Berenger. He's too old. But he's got to be the guy that like sends the guy.
From the looks of things, really slowed down for him in 2022, so maybe he just doesn't want to do it anymore. This is 2019, so he could have done that, but like right here, even it's like, how many days do you think he was on set for this? Like a week?
Yeah, probably a week.
So that's probably why. There's your answer, is that Tom Berenger would like to work 4 to maybe 6 weeks out of the year at best. And now
Golf
it's
the rest
probably
of the time,
less than that. So
Yeah. Okay.
he doesn't owe anybody shit.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And
Skills
even
up.
though he's in this movie because he just Berengers through it, I can't even talk shit about him in this thing. Like, yeah,
No, he was
he's
fine.
fucking bulletproof.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tom Berenger can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Include getting his
Whereas
butt
Louis
out.
Gossett Jr., I don't know.
He has to say yes.
Yeah, does he? I think he's fine, right? Like, he won an Academy Award for An Officer and a Gentleman.
True.
I don't know what else he would get a lot of royalties from, because it's not like
Well, Major League, that was a pretty big movie.
Yeah, but
that
nobody's
Louis
watching
Gossett
here and
Jr.
there.
is in Major League.
Yeah, I don't think he is actually, Jack.
He's
Oh,
not,
damn it.
because she's
He's
3
not.
steps behind me trying to do my job. Stop.
Right.
I get distracted by pictures.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. Nobody's watching Iron Eagle. Nobody's watching the Chuck Norris thing. Nobody's watching Digstown. That's for fucking sure.
In which, if you're going to watch any of I don't know that you're like, hey, everybody, let's watch Digstown again. I think maybe Digstown's probably fun the one time, but
I think we
it's
all
so
gave it
stupid,
don'ts.
though.
We
Digstown
gave
is
it-
so stupid.
I think we all gave it don'ts. So yeah, I don't think anybody's watching Digstown, Sam.
Yeah, it sucks. I just remembered that. I'm like, yeah, no, Digstown's stupid.
We thought it was going to be awesome, but then we were like, this movie blows.
This movie blows.
So yeah, I think Louis Gossett Jr. has to say yes to all of
He
the
was
jobs.
just in the new color purple, so that was probably significant for him.
Okay, helped him out a little bit. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Did either
Well,
one of you see that movie?
No,
No.
it's a musical. Fuck no. I loved The Color Purple when it
Yeah.
came out. I was like, this is landmark shit that isn't Roots, because I was not around for Roots. I thought it was really fucking good. Steven Spielberg obviously was involved. And then this one is they of course put it on Broadway because they're assholes. And then they took it from Broadway and put the Broadway version up on a musical about piss off.
Thank you for reminding me. I couldn't remember why I didn't see the new one. But then as soon as you said it was a musical, I was like, oh, that's why I didn't go see it.
Yeah, it's
The original was so damn good.
yeah.
And I don't want to see somebody dancing and singing about some of the issues that were in that movie. It would just be so super inappropriate.
It's the South Park joke. Everyone has AIDS. The song. Everyone has AIDS. Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun.
It's sort of
Stop
like
it.
if you tried to do the Cider House rules with the on-screen rules of 7 Brides for 7 Brothers.
Yeah, right. There
Wouldn't
you go.
that be something, right?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Nope. Yeah, so do you think then, to be sidetracked a little bit more on the Broadway nonsense of the musicals, because they're so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. That
Pretty dumb.
Spider-Man will make it back to the silver screen from the musical version of Spider-Man on Broadway?
That would be.
God, I hope not.
That I would actually be interested in seeing.
Yeah. The audacity to even do that is just beyond. I'm still flabbergasted. They're like, Spider-Man, the Broadway musical. What the fuck are you doing? Jesus Christ.
Well, didn't that have like a bunch of accidents?
Didn't
Oh,
it
yeah,
have
it was a train wreck.
fires and shit?
Yeah,
That's
it was
the theater saying, we don't want this here. That is the ghosts haunting the theater saying, go fuck yourself. We are not going to allow this to happen.
The
We
power
will kill
of the Broadway
every last
gods.
one of you.
the same people that said that Cats was okay.
Yeah, right. The theater gods.
Ugh.
Well, they like that Tom Rig Timley song about humping things.
Rum Tum Tumper. Rum Tum
Yeah.
Tugger. He is a
Okay.
curious cat.
Let's get off of the Broadway. I'm done with this discussion. Are
Okay.
you done with...
Yes, and I've just turned
Okay,
my page
all right.
to all 17 of my notes for this movie.
Yeah. I this is one of the lower ones for me as well. Let's get right into it, though. It starts out with me seeing the... What do you call that? Because it's
Justin
not the...
saying, why is this rated R for nudity?
No. Hold on.
And then-
let me discuss my thoughts, not you discuss my thoughts. Thank you. But what is that called at the top of the parental advisory, I guess, or is that the official thing that just goes on records? Is there an actual title for when the television channel you're watching it on says, "Hey, there's nudity"? Is that called something?
It's
'Cause it's not-
still from the MPAA.
What if it's direct-to-video? The MPAA doesn't have anything to do with that. There's got to be a separate entity that does the television stuff, but I don't know. Somebody needs to write in and tell us. That's a question for the listeners. And so it says nudity, and I'm like, okay, I already know this is about old people. It's going to be somebody's ass. It's going to be an old man's ass. Some point in this movie is going to be an old man's ass. Fucking first thing, they just get it out of the way. Here's an old man's ass. Laugh at it, right? It's fucking funny, right?
Right? And it's actually the third thing, because the first thing is Loins Gate comes up, and you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, great.
Here's where they fucking spazzed out some of that John Wick cash. Because they already burned up the fucking Mockingbird cash or whatever that shit was called.
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
Hunger Games.
Yeah, nothing is more trite and banal than an old man's ass on camera, and you supposed to be like, oh, look at his weird old butt. That doesn't look like my butt, because my butt's middle-aged, or it's in its 20s, and also, it's just a butt on screen, so that's fucking funny, right? No, it ain't. I'm fucking pissed at this movie. Very first shot.
You're so mad at it that you forgot all about the mediocre as fuck drawings that happened before it.
Yeah, don't care about any of that. Nothing. I care about how fucking stupid they think we are.
Yeah.
I want to back up, though, to Sam's point about the stupid-ass drawings, because I was like, if you really followed that whole comic sequence, it was pretty much Madeira or Moonlight falling to her death while these two nutsacks couldn't get it together to save her.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. There was actually a visual story, because I was just like,
Yeah.
blech, and then I wrote down shitty
Clearly.
drawings.
Yeah, clearly not relevant to the actual plot of the film.
But kind
yeah,
of.
that's what was happening.
Huh, how about that?
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so past Tom Berenger's ass. This is at a retirement home, and everybody at the retirement home is a former superpowered entity. Most of them are superheroes, and then there's one super villain, but they're all so old that all their powers have become flaccid and unusable. It's like they're junk. They don't work anymore, which I'm not a big, I mean, I didn't care for that take on it. I mean, it's fine, but like the whole time I'm sitting here watching this, I'm thinking about two things. Bubba fucking Hotep is a better movie than anybody ever gives it credit for. And B, Hollis Mason. At least somebody's thinking about old Hollis Mason, am I right?
Yeah,
you know?
but Hollis doesn't have superpowers, right? He's just a retired guy.
I know, but he's an old fart, and he doesn't have this. He wants to relive the past. Fine, but he's not about Schmitting. And like, you start out with an about Schmidt premise, like everybody's sad and depressed. You're going to end up with about Schmidt. The viewer is going to be sad and depressed as well. That's just how, it sucks. It sucks.
Also, with the superhero thing, it's like these must have been the shitty superheroes, because I'm going to like Mark Miller out for a second and be like, most of the really good ones are going to like die doing it when they realize they've lost their edge because they're addicted to the rush of it, and they realize that they're not going to make it in a retirement home. So why not go out with a bang?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because none of what's the I guess there's just the Watchmen. The group the Hollis Mason is in. Is that right? They were the Watchmen? Help me out here.
The Minutemen.
The Minutemen, thank you. They're all dead except for Hollis Mason. Yeah.
Because he was human.
And Jupiter January Jupiter's mom.
Sally Jupiter.
Sally Jupiter. But everybody else is dead. Yeah, you're good point, Sam. Think about what else. Is there another old superhero thing to fall back on? There's the Earth X thing. Everybody died in that except for Captain America. Peter Parker eventually gets fat, Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think we've ever seen old Spider-Man. So yeah, there's not a lot.
It's a difficult thing to negotiate when they're not human, right? If they actually have superpowers, what does that do to their aging, their longevity, all of that, right? So it's just like a negotiation and a problem that you don't solve because you have other things to solve, like how it looks when he punches a guy while running fast or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like that's not what it's about. You leave that up to guys like Mark Miller, who can then. Who wrote Old Man Logan? Was that or not?
Might have been
Morrison.
Might have been Wade. Sounds like a Wade project. I don't know. Anyways, so
they're all dead in that, though. There you go. That's what everybody's fucking dead that can die.
Everybody's fucking dead. Yeah,
and they didn't make it to like the retirement home. They got killed by the fucking Hulk.
Right. Yeah, no shit. They got killed by the fucking Hulk. Anyways.
Now, would that be the Red Hulk or the original Hulk?
The original Hulk goes crazy in that one.
Yeah, Green Hulk.
It was, of course, Mark Miller. We leave these things to Mark Miller.
There you go. Yeah, it was Mark Miller. Okay. So yeah, I think that's a good pickup, Sam. I think Maximum Justice was like maybe an Avenger, but maybe like Hawkeye level of Avenger. He wasn't Cap or Iron Man, but he was, I'm Hawkeye. I shoot arrows, but I'm an Avenger. But everybody else was lower tier. I like that, except for Madeira Moonlight. She seems like she's pretty powerful, but not really useful powerful.
Her treatment in this, or I don't know her treatment, but like the whole she's bullshit in this because she shows her power to who eventually becomes the supervillain or whatever, and the lady's shitting her pants. She like basically can turn an indeterminate space into another dimension and horrify it, but then later she's like got crappy shield powers.
Yeah, right.
Fuck off.
Right. Yeah.
Like anything that happens bad around this retirement home, that lady would fuck up in a hot second.
Yeah.
Oh, there's lasers. Okay, they're gone now. Like,
bummer.
It sucked. I didn't mention the writers of this for specific reason.
Okay.
They shall remain unnamed because I'm pretty sure they didn't do their job.
Okay, so anyways, that's the premise. They're in old superheroes in a retirement home, going through some shit. There's lots of old people jokes that I'm just going to skip through. Dentures on some guy's dick.
The denture dick thing, man. There's just
sucks.
no.
I said I was going to skip through, but
they can't. There's shooting and editing have to do with comedy, and those parts got forgotten.
Guy falls on his colostomy bag. Ha, 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 ha. So funny. And then, so they watch the news, and on this day that's called Hero Day, which is like a fan day. It's like a real-life Comic-Con. They go, they sign autographs for people who want to come meet their superheroes. Well, the big special talker, whatever the main event is.
Keynote speaker.
Yeah, the keynote speaker is another current superhero, young. His name is Celestro, and he can fly. That's about all I can tell from this movie.
And he doesn't seem like he flies that fast, so I'm thinking it took him about 3 days to fly to Ireland from New York.
Yeah, I got pretty tired.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of confidence that this superhero was saving a lot of people as much as he was bolstering his Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
Because that's all he ever says. He shows up and he's like me on Facebook and Instagram. And then he flies away. But he never fights anybody in the movie. You don't see him saving anyone. So it was kind of like, okay.
Were they
just making fun? Because of the year this movie was made, were they just making fun of like homosexuals or trans people? I just couldn't really.
Wait, what does the year have to do with anything, Jackie?
Because
it's 5 years ago.
Yeah. So
what? What is she talking about? Gay marriage was legalized in 2012. We accept, we're having some struggles right now. I'll admit it. But 2019 was a pretty good year for gay people. Not bad. Not bad. Uncle Joe's president.
I just wasn't sure
Uncle Joe's not
if
president,
the writers,
but they're pissed
if the writers were poking fun.
Yeah,
no.
I wasn't real sure about that. And it was like,
I'm going to venture to guess that everybody that was cast in this had full reign to do whatever the fuck they wanted with their characters. And they hired that guy, and that's what he came up with.
But why, that's fine. That's fine that he's... Why do they hate him? Like, they're like, oh, God, I hate Celestro. And the first thing you get exposed to is that Celestro is quite gay. So, did they... Like,
hate him
because he's a pompous ass, dude.
He really wasn't.
Yes, he was. What's your name? You're my favorite hero. I was inspired by you
later
as a kid. And then
in
goes
the movie
to the next guy and is like, you're my favorite
That's
hero.
Later in the movie. Why do they hate him now? All they see is him flying around and they're like, oh, God, Celestro, he's such a... That's how it's treated. And it's like, what the fuck?
Because they think that they're better than that they were better at it than he was, probably.
I think that they hate gay people.
They might do that too.
I think that's what the movie. There's no reason for this guy to be gay other than as a vehicle for them to deliver their hate.
Sure, maybe they're like, why can't we get a Republican superhero in
here? Republican superhero.
Where's Homelander? God damn it!
They had that. His name was John McCain. You son of a bitch.
Yep.
His superhero name was Maverick, right? He was such a maverick. Yeah. John McCain was also not the greatest for America. Wasn't the worst. Wasn't the worst.
I'm not talking shit about John McCain. That's for sure.
It's bad policies.
I'm with Sam. I'm not talking shit.
Voted against gay marriage. Just saying. Not great. Okay. I've got some more old people jokes. Fire farts. Ha 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 ha. Fast stair climber chairs. Ha 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 ha.
What was the guy that? So it's like Hurricane Jane and Rainbow.
Randy. I don't. What was his name? It was Jerry.
His name was Jerry, but
Jerry Rainbow.
His superhero name was like Rainbow-gasm or something.
Yeah, sure.
Later on, they're going to say, because we're not going to talk about this part at all when he dies, probably, that he stopped the moon from hitting the earth with his rainbow mouth fart power. How the fuck did he pull that off?
I would like to see that. That's part of the movie I would have actually been interested in.
How did the moon try to hit the earth that he had to stop it?
He got Roland Emmerich on the phone and said, let's make this happen. You've
And
seen
then he
that movie
burped.
twice.
And then he burped and was like, taste the rainbow, the moon. And it's like, okay, I'll go away now. Bye.
Maybe he had some other powers that we don't know about. There's also an old guy super race. Ha 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 ha. So funny. They hate the Russian guy. His name is Brian. I don't know what his powers are at all.
They say he has X-ray vision.
He doesn't.
Yeah,
But
he says,
they also allude to they don't really know what his superpower is.
yeah, they didn't bother to write that in.
But we know that he's got a floppy wiener and he needs Viagra.
He did
that's fine.
destructo a mannequin unseen so that we couldn't
true.
figure out his powers, but it could be something a little bit like Gambit.
Maybe. He is an ex-villain. He's the only villain, but he flipped for the state and therefore sent more supervillains to jail than any of the rest of them. So he's actually a superhero. So there aren't any supervillains in this retirement.
No, they're in
home
prison.
at all. Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense either. You don't, unless you get a life sentence. You know, you rob a bank, you go to prison for life.
I don't know. I'm
Probably
pretty sure
a
if you're a
bunch of-
super villain, you've done some fucked up shit.
Or there's like Chris Claremont levels of anti-powers happening, and if you're not on the right side of it, then there's new laws written to keep you locked up forever.
Guess. Spot goes to prison forever. The Rhino, he goes to prison forever.
Well,
It
I mean,
seems
why would you let them
cruel.
back out?
Because
You know that they're going to do bad shit. It's not like they're getting rehabilitated.
That's the point of prison, Jackie, is rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation,
Is
not
it
just
though?
not punishment. Yes.
Okay.
If you're not trying to rehabilitate, you are doing society wrong, which is probably what we're doing.
just lock them up and throw away the key. Like, we don't pay for all that with our tax dollars.
Yeah. I got a speeding ticket. Here's a life sentence. That's Jackie's universe.
That's not what I said.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sure.
Just like, not
fascist.
speeding, I do that.
Yeah, that is every American. I'm talking about the really fucked up shit, like, you know, robbing a bank or
Yeah, that's
whatever
really,
supervillains do.
really fucked up. Robbing a bank is really fucked
Well,
up.
maybe they
Selling
went through the
children,
sewer.
Jackie, is really fucked up. Robbing a fucking evil corporation, I don't have such a problem with it. Sometimes you got to break some eggs. You don't go to fucking prison for life for robbing a fucking bank. And
Yeah,
if it's
you
a
don't-
heist,
fuck up
if you
the-
go
the
in there with a
sewer
gun and
system.
start shooting people, fuck you. But if you heist it, you know, if you tunnel in from underneath and then you have like a code cracker and those guys from that New Year's Day movie, should they have gone to prison for life, Jackie? Hell no. They should have sung and danced.
Are you going to lock
but
up
they
Danny
also-
Ocean for the rest of his life for being cunning and charming?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
what if they screwed up the entire sewer system of the city?
It's a sewer?
I mean,
I don't
but
think
you
you
wouldn't
know
be
how
able to
sewers.
poop. You would have to go out to the
It's-
porta potty in your apartment complex or in your neighborhood because your sewer doesn't work anymore. You would probably be a little more pissed off about that.
So you stopped the force of gravity? You by robbing a bank, you have made gravity not work. That's how a sewer works, Jackie. You poop in a thing, it goes down and it flows down a tunnel. By
Like,
gravity. You can't
so-
literally can't fuck it up.
This guy screwed up the sewer, so no more pooping in town. We're locking everybody up forever, and that's where our tax dollars are going instead of fixing the crapper.
Yes. We can't
Oh
let
my
him have
God.
to do this again. Do you know
Yep.
how expensive that was? And how stinky this town was?
Jackie might actually be a good politician. I mean, not a good politician, but she'd be a successful politician.
Successful.
Sam.
Heavyweight puncher in the political sphere.
Terrible
Yeah, I'd be like,
policies.
do you really want to go out and crap right next to your neighbor in a porta potty and hope that the neighborhood kids don't push your ass over? No, you don't. So that's
the
why we're
sewer's
locking up
broke.
bank robbers.
Okay. All right. So the rainbow guy, because of the dentures on his junk thing, he used his powers without authorization, and so he is getting them degraded, which they call in this movie power downwardly managed. It's like,
Yeah,
I guess it's
but
like
he
shock
almost
therapy
killed
kind
the
of.
guy in the wheelchair.
Okay.
That's why he gets in trouble.
Okay. Whatever. But then he disappears. He's taken away instead. And Tom Berenger sees it. Maximum justice. He's like, wait a minute. Where are they taking Jerry? Something's fishy here. We got Thor using Mjolnir for cricket. Ha 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 ha.
Yep.
Sucks.
I thought that was kind of funny.
Oh, are you kidding me? It sucked. Stupid.
Because it didn't really help his game at all.
Why would Thor get old?
Why did his dad get old? They all
they
get old.
No. Odin's, that's part of the prophecy. You can't have Ragnarok without Odin dying. Thor lives for billions and billions of years and still is young and handsome. Doesn't make any sense.
Anyway.
I mean,
Doesn't make any.
This could be the end of his rope, man.
And why wouldn't he be retired in Asgard?
Because we already know that their planet was exploded.
In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Jackie, but Thor is actually not from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's actually a different guy totally.
I know that, but if we're going off the Thor rules from Disney Cinematic Universe, then he lives in Norway.
Well, also, the guy playing croquet summons the power of Balder, so he's just a lower wizard. He's just a dick.
That he has a hammer and lightning goes through it. I'm pretty sure he's Thor. That's just how this guy says, by the power of Thor. Balder,
okay, whatever.
Balder made Mjolnir, right? So I think he's Thor.
Yeah.
From Greek mythology, from Norse mythology, not the MCU. God damn it. Okay. Some rich lady arrives. This is Moonlight. She's kind of a harlot, in a good way. You know, she shakes her tail and gets all the men.
She's got it going on, and she knows
like,
it, and she is not going to apologize to some schlub like you.
My God. Did you drink half a gallon of vodka before this podcast started? Because you are lippy. Wow.
I'm just defending my movie here.
Okay.
Yeah, she needs to be on her toes on this one. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to defend this movie.
I was actually about to praise her, not she's got all the men on a short string because they're all idiots. I wasn't throwing her under the bus. I was actually saying she's the power figure in this whole dynamic.
Until it comes to superpowers, then all of a sudden she starts blowing ass.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but she did date Tom Berenger, Maximum Justice and Thunder.
Yep.
She dated both of them, which we know.
Okay. Ted, his name is ShamWow. What's his Sham?
Shazam, Shizzle.
For Shizzle?
For Shizzle?
Yeah.
It's like Schlubert. He Schluberts away. I
thought it was Shammy. He shammies away. Like you wash your car.
Oh, Shimmy. His name
ShamWow.
is
Shimmy. Yeah, ShamWow. Okay, he gets a cancer diagnosis. He's only got months to live. Bummer. And then Jerry comes back, the rainbow guy, and Tom Berenger sees him, and he's like, what? And then he goes and talks to him, but he's a vegetable, and he's like, what? But then he's dead, and they're like, what? And then he has a funeral, and nobody shows up, even though he saved the earth, like Sam said, which...
From the moon hitting it with rainbow power.
Yep. Getting pretty about Schmitty again. So they have their field trip for Hero Day. They go into town. There's like a little carnival set up. No one shows up to it. Nobody gives a shit about them. There's some other jokes. It sucks.
well, except for the lady that comes up to Maximum Justice and is like, can I get your autograph? I just love you. And he goes to go sign the picture. She's like, not there, here. And then you see the side boob of some very pancaked boobs.
Okay. Old lady. Yeah.
I liked that joke.
So, if you're Maximum Justice, you sign them titties, right?
Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I bet he did.
Hell yeah.
That probably brightened his day considerably.
Probably. A little bit better. It was nice. I didn't like looking at him, lady, but the thought that you were tossing him out there for me, and I mean literally tossing him out there, because oof, those are some tube socks. I'm not going to lie. So they were a little hard to sign, like a lot of bumps and ridges and stretch marks that made the pen not work.
the wind picks up, you want to drop one of those on these photos and just hold them down?
I'll put a paperweight on them so I can actually write on them.
Just think, gentlemen, when you two are single and very old, if you guys decide to date again, that's what's out there for you.
Okay. Good for Sam. I'm never going to date again. I'm going to die before you. So
take that.
Suck it.
All right, fine.
So Ray, he sees Maximum Justice. He sees some rainbows happening in a porta potty. I couldn't really tell what was happening, but he also apparently saw some kids and one of the orderlies in there doing this rainbow. Hey, that's Randy's power. What's up? They're stealing our powers and selling them to kids. And I figured out the plot right here, but nobody else believes me, including the viewer. So then Celestro arrives. He's, yes, as Jackie says, kind of a knob. I still think it's because he's gay. He's like, hey, they're stealing powers if you want to help. And he's like, oh, yeah, good luck with that, crazy old man. Actually, I seem pretty sound when I'm talking to you. It doesn't seem that ridiculous at all. Not like a rainbow guy saving the planet from the moon with his skittle burp.
If he's, because I think Jackie's a little right about him too, that he's really serving his Instagram more than anything. You'd hear him out at least, right?
Yeah, sure.
You would at least hear him out.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I've
as
got
a
some pull.
fellow superhero, you know, you would be like, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to look into this with you because I respect you.
I don't have to fight a kaiju or the guy, like any of Spider-Man's rogues. I just have to, like, investigate a nursing, and I don't have good powers. I can fly, that's it, and not very fast. So this seems like a slam dunk for my Instagram.
Also, it's Taco Bake Tuesday. Ooh.
Yeah. Hey, nice.
I mean, there's a lot of benefits to this guy helping out, and he just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
He's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, I don't think he would have ever been the top superhero that this movie makes it seem like. And I also think that old man Tom Berenger right now could kick his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can make him shove a pool stick up his butt.
That's right. So they see these the rainbow kids from the porta potty going to a pub, and Ray, and he's also Ray Max. I don't know why they had to have two names for him. They follow them via Ted's ShamWow powers. And they see another group break into a car later. They got no info, so they decide to bust them. We're superheroes. You guys stop breaking into those cars. And they don't really fuck these kids up at all. Like at all.
He tosses one of them in a trash can.
I mean, gently. And then he makes the other one drop a knife.
Scoops,
that's
sir.
it.
Scoops.
Yeah, he didn't toss the tray. He scoops him.
Scoops him,
yeah. And so
I mean, they make a big damn deal of it at the nursing home. And I'm like, really?
They're in the fucking paper.
He saved somebody. Well, somebody's personal property, not like they stopped it from happening, but come on.
They're in the paper as going on a sex rampage. Excuse me?
Yeah, how did they get that wrong?
Because the robbers that were stealing the car were like, "Oh, you're touching me inappropriately."
Yeah. I'm punching you in the face because you're committing crimes. I'm a vigilante. Here's my appropriateness to your jaw. Ding. Now you're unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Suck it. Yeah, sue me, I guess. Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of legal difficulties with superheroes, but sex rampage isn't one of them.
No.
So the moral of this story is if you're going to break up a car break-in, you got to fuck every one of those losers up so that they can't make up a story about you.
Yeah, you break their jaws.
And you get to tell your story first.
Yeah, you have all their jaws wired shut, and
or if you have he had laser vision, why didn't he just trap them in the car?
Yeah, so
they were all in the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he could have been like, and then I'm going to call the police.
A really dubious set of superpowers. An unknown strength telekinesis.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And laser eyes.
That is, his telekinesis is accompanied with diegetic $6 Million Man sounds.
Yes.
No. Makes that power. sound. Because otherwise people wouldn't freak out when they start, like, because he's struggling to do it sometimes. Like, this takes a lot of effort. Nothing's happening. But the na-na-na-na-na-na-na sounds good. And they're like, what's happening? What is that? And, yeah. Okay, they make the paper. They get in trouble. The lady says, okay, you got to give up your powers. You're getting the downwardly managed treatment. And then she comes into the room with everybody else, and she's like, and so's the rest of you all. Because of him. You're all in trouble because him. He's like,
and at that point, you're like, I have superpowers, bitch. Go fuck yourself. I am not getting managed down. Like,
why am I here?
Yeah, I have
live
superpowers. Here? I don't need to take your shit. Shut the fuck up and go sit back in your office and make sure that my pudding is there tonight.
You would have to have like a SHIELD level, equally powered employee running this thing. Not just some lady.
Yeah, exactly. Also, it doesn't make sense why he's there at all. Like, he's not crazy. He's continent. He's just an old guy, but he's not like a falling apart old guy. You know what I mean? Same with the Russian guy.
They allude to it in the end that like they're actually being held there.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They are held there, but they're oblivious to being held there. But it's like, no, none of you guys really need to be in a nursing home at all, except for a couple of you.
They got talked into it.
Yeah, like let's hang out together.
It's not like that they had like a retirement plan or anything, right? It's not like the city paid them anything, so they probably don't have a lot of options.
Endorsements. That's how superheroes work, Jackie. That's how you retire, is endorsements. You got to, it's just like sports. You don't actually get paid that much for being on the NFL, but you get paid a lot for slinging Nikes.
You go pick up an endorsement from Intel. Wait, what's that? That was their building I destroyed fighting the evil supervillain? Is there anyone left who I haven't destroyed their building? Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he did get sued out of oblivion and he doesn't have any money and this is now the state home. I don't know, but most of them are too healthy to live there and still too healthy to have Brenda fucking tell them their business. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I can laser your head off.
Okay, so I'm going to burn my first question since we're talking about this. So, Moonlight, right? She shows up in a Rolls Royce. She's wearing fashionable clothing. She obviously has money.
Why is she there?
What the fuck is she doing there?
What the fuck is she doing there?
Go back to her high-end New York apartment and say, fuck you, daughter. I am not watching your kids. I am a goddamn superhero.
This is one of the people, because she's basically a fucking dark magic wizard.
Uh-huh.
So she dies of old age at the top of her fucking mansion kind of a thing in the middle of an evil scheme. Like, this is not... She does not end up here. There's just no way.
She calls... what's his name? Not Morpheus. Not Mobius. The devil guy. It's red. Fights Doctor Strange a lot.
Dormammu.
No, not Dormammu. Dormammu is more of a omnipotent being. This is actually the devil, but he's got his own name.
No, but she might actually...
Oh, man, it's killing me.
She may inadvertently summon Dormammu on accident.
She could summon Dormammu. That's true. Yeah. Or get sucked into like a Dormammu, like parallel universe, like the negative zone or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you think she's dead, but she's like just incorporate, more powerful now than ever.
Yeah, I mean, she shouldn't be here.
No, she shouldn't be here.
Right?
No, she shouldn't be here.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay, whatever.
Neither should fucking Brian. If he fucking turns state's evidence on CAIA, he gets his own mansion too.
Yeah.
That guy's got money.
He doesn't have powers that we can tell. When you turn state's evidence and put down that many bad guys, guess where you go? A place where nobody's ever going to hear from you again and live very comfortably, probably on an island someplace. Doesn't make any goddamn sense.
He's got an estate somewhere with lots of land and a security team.
Yeah, he's under witness protection. not fucking, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Okay, so they're getting their powers sucked away, and they're not really too bummed about it, I guess, because they've got to prove, oh, we're going to suck your powers unless you prove to us that you can control them. Also, we don't know what half of you's powers is, so you got to just, like, demo them. And I would be like, how about no?
Yeah, the only one that stands up to them is Brian. And he's like, I'm not going to perform like a monkey. And they're like, well, then we're going to downgrade you. And he's like, all right, fine.
Well, no, you're not. You're not doing that to me. Well, how are you going to stop us? By fucking lasering your goddamn head off.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? You want to start with lasers? Laser eyeballs? Or do you want me to pull out my snickety-snack claws and fucking stab you in the stomach and then pull your fucking intestines out and throw them out a window? You want to start there, bitch? You're not taking my goddamn shit!
But you're trapped in here with lasers. I have fucking lasers in my eyes!
That's true, and that should have come into play later. But it doesn't.
It doesn't, yeah.
Which is fucked up and weird. Like somebody forgot that he had laser eyes during that scene.
Okay. Oh, my God. Okay, so Ray is... he's exiled from the group because of this whole taking your power thing. They don't want to be his friend anymore, except for ShamWow. He still is like, yeah, have you guys ever heard anything called loyalty? Of course, he's my partner. He was you're his sidekick. No, I'm his partner. Because my power is to, like, bamf. He can bamf, but it smells really... I think Nightcrawler smelled bad too, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
he's basically just Nightcrawler.
That
would be an interesting thing to, like, if there was a superhero battle with, like, a grand... many superheroes, many supervillains all destroying a city, as they do in these sort of situations. Mm-hmm. That you have those two just sort of like teleporting from building top to building top, cutting buildings in half with his laser vision and using the force to knock them over. Like you'd see it if you're the supervillains and you're like, those guys are stupid, but man, they are tough to deal with. Because it's basically like, he's Jean Grey and Cyclops at the same time.
Yeah.
And then Ted's Nightcrawler.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be tough to deal with.
It'd be problematic. So he uses his BAMF powers to warp into the office of the old folks' home, and he finds some documents, and it says something about absorption. And he's like,
which is fun. Because she's got redacted documents. So she's so far down the ladder in this bullshit that the documents she's receiving on this bullshit are redacted.
Mm-hmm. I'm still not real clear on the plot. We'll get there, though. So he's like, hey, guys, I found these documents. And they're like, well, that's weird. And then they're convinced now because the documents then go disappear. And so they're like, oh, wait, now we're on board. So let's go find this orderly named Flynn because we saw the Russian guy giving him money. But then we eliminated that with the Russian guy who says he was buying Viagra.
Mm-hmm.
And it checks out. So why are we going after Flynn?
And meanwhile... like, does the situation with Brian and everybody ever get old for any of them where they're like, we're friends with you, but we're going to act like we're enemies and we're not? You communist son of a bitch. Are you coming or not?
They're playing poker and shit, right?
Yeah, that's like the thing. They're like, oh, that communist son of a bitch. Brian, are you coming or not? Yes. It's got to get old.
Yeah, eventually Brian's just going to start bringing his own chair to meals and be like, ha ha ha, motherfucker, I'm going to sit in this before you can pull it to the table.
Cold War was a real motherfucker, Sam. So,
but then they wouldn't hang out. Brian would hang out with somebody else.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Like they hang out all the time.
But Brian's also the kind of guy that, he needs to be with the in crowd. So he's going to put himself out there. He's going to get rejected as many times as it takes until he's one of them. He's used to this shit. I mean, look at the guy.
Wow.
Sorry.
Jeez.
He's got terribly dyed hair. He's trying way too damn hard. Poor man.
All right. So they find another orderly. He's gotten high on the rainbow powers, or he's gotten high and taken the rainbow powers, and now he's high because he can fly. But he's also stoned. I don't know if he took something else or it's just the rainbow powers that make him stoned, whatever.
I think he's listening to Body Count.
What? What does Body Count have to do with rainbow powers?
That other song that wasn't Cop Killer is a really goofy ballad called Gonna Get High as the Sky.
Huh.
Kissing your life goodbye.
Not,
Check it out and go, this is Body Count? What the fuck?
don't think I want to. Okay, so he's like, yeah, these kids sold it to me. It's a drug. And they're like, oh, okay, we're figured out the plot. Sort of. You guys already knew all this shit. But you haven't figured out why. You get to the why.
The other guy, the other orderly, huffs some superpower juice and gets stuck in a rainbow levitation cloud where he's whacked out on the goofballs. Apparently for like 3 days, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
No one else that works there seems to care about this whatsoever.
They also mentioned that somebody else mentions that when you take it, it only lasts a couple minutes. But that guy's been up in the air for a long time.
I thought that Flynn said it'll wear out after a few months.
A month?
No, he said it's supposed to wear off in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I heard minutes, dude.
Yay.
So this is a pretty big discrepancy. Okay, so Ray, he's on his way to get downwardly managed. Ashley's pretty stoked about it. Whatever her name is, characters. I wrote Ashley because that's who she is in The Boys, basically. She's then she like corners Flynn and is like, "What? You sold powers to the kids in town? I told you to knock that shit off. Go down there and get the power vials back or something, or stop it. Whatever." So he's out of there. The group decides to come in and help Ray. They get him out of there, and they decide to suit up, lock and load, slow motion, walk thing.
Yep. Comedy or excellence or none of the above.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been funnier if each one of them would have been holding onto the handrail as they went down.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time I'm watching this, I'm thinking back to when I had to work as an editor and people will just add a fart noise in there. It'll be funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it would work here. This is the only time. This is so bad that you could just be like,
well, it's funny when you do it.
If you do that much of it, like anytime they're trying to do anything, it's fucking hilarious.
It's like it's so dumb that it becomes funny again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm over the slow motion walk reveal. Pretty over it.
Oh, yeah.
Last time it was done well was in Guardians when Rocket picks at his crotch because his uni's too tight. It worked. But I think they did one in Logan and Wolverine, and they riffed on it as well. But I'm tired of the riff, too, of the slow motion walk.
We're done.
Yeah, just stop it for like
stop.
50 years. Yeah, 50 years of the slow motion walk. I'm good with being done with. All right, so they get the others to run distraction. The other people in the old folks' home, a couple ladies distract Ashley. They get help to hack into the computer, and
they didn't. They never hacked in.
No, they didn't. But they get help to do that.
Sure,
they just fail at. They're too slow to hack into the computer because of the high guy, and the lasers activate. She does her bullshit thing that Sam says, and it's stupid. And they're like, well, we've got no choice. We can't get out the front gate because of the lasers that kill owls and us. Let's cross the moat that has not been mentioned in this movie until this point in time. Also, I'm not really sure if it's a moat or a small stream that has living stuff in it. Like trees, like the ants, the roots of the ants, or poop, or
it's filled with a substance kind of like Superman's kryptonite. for all superheroes. It'll suck their power if they get into it. So they can't walk through it to get through the moat.
So
when
then,
it's like superhero kryptonite.
So this is basically like the boys' universe of superpowers that they were created, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. But then why not just use whatever's in the moat to take their powers away? Why does the moat it doesn't, it's stupid. Doesn't work.
Maybe it smells bad and they were going to pump it through the pipes of the retirement home. But then they're like, wait, we can suck up their power and I can be the ultimate superhero.
But if
so
the
it's
moat
like a
has
thing?
a substance that stops the superpowers, then how come the Ice Queen just walks into it,
She just fucking walks
waist
in.
deep, and uses her superpowers on it? Which
Right.
is freezing shit.
Maybe it enhances hers because we saw earlier that she could not perform her superpowers.
She made the water boil instead of freeze, which is
Right.
still a superpower.
Yeah.
So maybe it just reversed her superpower. So she, because she can only do she's a one-trick pony. So it just reverses your trick.
I also think that there was some implication on her power that her pussy's dried up, and that's how her powers work.
Frozen shut, I guess.
Yeah, I think I didn't like that. It also
No.
was poorly done.
Real bad. And also, also you're frozen in that now for however long it takes for that to unfreeze.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you can reboil it. And if she boils it herself out, then all of a sudden it's open for business again. Hot stuff.
Right.
Brian, get in here with your Viagra, you son of a bitch.
So then they take a taxi into town. It's supposed to be funny. It's not. They go to the youth center and they fuck up the kid who was selling powers. Pretty good. He didn't have.
They
a good
violate him with a pool cue.
Yeah.
They could teach these ruffians, these ne'er-do-well townies, not hardened criminals, a lesson or two by smacking them around, which honestly wouldn't really work in the grand scheme of things either. But instead, he jams a pool cue up his ass so far that it will have to be removed by surgeons.
Yeah. You know what else he deserves? Prison for life.
Yeah.
80 years in the pen for selling superpowers. Yeah. Now that's justice. That is justice if I've ever smelled it. Maximum justice. I'm changing my superpowered name to maximum sentence, actually.
Whoa.
Little Jackie justice. Throw away the key.
That's not true. I would have been like, if you can make the shot to the 8-ball, I will let you take that out of your butt. If not, it's just going to be stuck there for quite some time.
I will let you take that out of your butt. He's laying on the ground like, get me a surgeon. This is so far up my ass, it's hurting my stomach.
It's tickling my lungs.
And then I would have been like, well, maybe you should ask your buddies to help. Obviously, they help you sell the drugs so they can help you make the shot.
with your butt cue.
Just like, two of you grab an arm and two of you grab a leg and we'll just heave-ho him into the cue ball.
I'm just saying, and then they could have as many shots as they wanted, but I'm not letting him go until he makes the shot.
Weirdest game of pool I've ever seen. Okay, so this dude, he tells them that Flynn, the orderly guy, is doing something big tonight. It's all going down at a place called the Knacker Yard. And he's like, oh, okay, well, drive us there. So they steal his car, and he gives them directions, and it's just back to the old folks' home. And it's like, hey, I thought you said this was the Knackered Yard. Wait, are you calling us old and knackered? Yeah. Ha, 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 ha. Funny movie.
Maybe that's what they call it in Ireland. I don't know.
Maybe, but it's not.
It sucks.
Yeah. Ashley, or whatever her name is, has a secret lab that's not so secret down in the basement.
No one goes into rooms anywhere because you can get high for 3 days and not get bothered if you work there. Or have a secret laboratory with
a pretty big lab with villainous equipment inside of it.
Well, it's the spa, but they said the spa is down for repairs, and that's how she's getting around this. She's converted the steam boxes into absorbers.
Oh. Huh. Okay. So it's not okay. I mean, it looks like a villain's secret lab, but at least they justified it with the spa thing. Because also the security station didn't make a whole lot of sense to me in a nursing home. You don't have that at all. Even like one of the bad ones, you still don't have that. Security cameras and like a guy who sits there and like, we've got a situation on floor 3. It's not fucking like wherever Sarah O'Connor was in beginning of Terminator 2, you know?
Which is an asylum.
Yeah, the asylum might have that, but this is just a nursing home.
This nursing home. We got a 1532 on level 4. What's that? Mrs. Hayes
Jell-O.
has taken another salt shaker. She's got 15 of them now.
I keep losing them.
I'm not going to lie. If I lived in a retirement home, I would steal weird shit like that. Just to be an asshole.
Don't forget.
And I would keep it in a special, like, florally box in my closet. You know, like salt shakers, napkin holders, forks and spoons. You know, I just fucking take shit because I could.
That totally happens. You're not like you didn't invent that, Jackie. That is what happens at not a retirement home, a nursing home. 2 different things. Retirement homes with the bowl of keys and, you know, Phoenix. Nursing home is where none of us want to go.
Yeah.
So, okay. So in the lab downstairs, they've all been put in those boxes, and Ashley is sucking all the power, and she monologues and just tells us that she's doing it so she can give birth to someone who has all of the powers, like the best power.
Okay. So she sucks. So it's revealed that Flynn is a supervillain that absorbs people's powers.
Yeah, he's rogue.
So he's rogue that doesn't kill people.
Uh-huh.
He just borrows them or whatever.
Right.
Or sucks them all the way out. I guess he has to suck them all the way out. So he's rogue that doesn't kill people.
Okay.
And then she sucks out his blue juice.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't put it in herself at all.
She's doing it through the vein.
So she's like direct transfusion of blue juice into her body.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then she just dies, I guess.
Yeah, right.
No.
Well, she does later. But why though?
Okay, so I never saw her visibly take his power in any scientific or magical way.
Okay.
She just is able to suck powers out with her hands immediately.
You're still on the how? I don't really care about the how.
She
why
says,
is pretty questionable.
I'm going to put all this in eggs, and now I'm stuck on that how.
No, I think she is going to give birth. Like her eggs. Her female ovarian eggs, Sam. Not eggs of like chickens and selling at restaurants.
So is she pregnant?
I think she is intending to become that way.
Because if she has to develop the eggs in order for them to have all of these superpowers, she's going to have to wait until the old ones get out of the way.
Right? Yeah. No, but I mean, that's her intent, is to eventually give birth to somebody who has the power. That's how. I don't care. Why? What does that do?
But also, you have that now.
You have that now. What's your intention? To like be super powered? Well, you did it. Like go fight crime or be crime, which I don't know what you want here, lady.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense. And she kind of like hints that that Maximum Justice did Man of Steel shit and like destroyed her whole town and killed her parents while they was fighting fucking Brainiac or whatever. Like there's a revenge thing you could go for, but she doesn't. She's just like, I'm going to give birth to somebody who has superpowers through my super ovarian eggs. Cool.
And then what? In like 20 years, that person...
Fucking kid. You just made another superhuman.
That person will hate you and kill you?
Yeah. Are you, like, you're not shutting down the superhero system at all. You're actually just keeping it going.
And how are you going to pull this off? Like, where will you live to raise your super person and train them properly? And did you notice that you actually have all those powers now, by the way?
Yeah, you also, yeah, oh, God. So they fight her, and it sucks. This is the worst part about the whole movie. Like, I'm almost on board at certain points in time, but this last fight sequence just sucks so hard.
It ends worse than it carries on. Because the fight sequence is not even a fight sequence. She sucks.
Yeah, she's really
and
bad
then
at the superhero thing.
To culminate this terrible experience, Bo Bridges just goes, "You can't have that many superpowers, you'll die." And she's like, "Oh no, I am dying now."
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I get. So here's the how of her death is when you suck up all of the powers. I guess there's a cap, and your body goes stupid, and then you disintegrate.
Yeah, that's what happens.
It is really, really fucking dumb.
So really, this podcast is a PSA for those listeners out there to know that don't get too greedy with absorbing powers. You know, there is a cap out there. Be selective, like you would be if you were dating.
Yeah,
Elon. You only want certain ones.
Quit sucking up all the powers, Elon. God damn it. I hope Elon fucking pops. Did I say that out loud? What would have worked here is if like she's really unstoppable. She's just getting more doomsday and more doomsday. And then she sucks up, and it's not really that like original. But like she sucks up his cancer and he's like, haha, bitch, I just gave you cancer. And she's like, oh no, you were going to die in like 3 minutes, weren't you? And he's like, yeah, I wasn't feeling really great, but now I feel pretty good. Then she dies of cancer. That would have almost worked.
She's like, but you had a few months left. And he's like, well, I guess you won't have the superpowered kid now. And she's like, oh no. And then Louis Gossett Jr. is like, you have all the powers now.
And then she leaves.
And then she goes, wait, you can suck up cancer with superpowers? Yes.
Bummer. Credits? I don't know where you're going with this either.
None of it makes any fucking sense.
It only makes sense if she dies of the cancer right then and there. Okay, wrap this up. You can't just let her have cancer and then be like, you've got cancer now. And then she like goes home.
But just so everybody knows, cancer doesn't make you disintegrate into dust.
No,
that's not how cancer works.
No, she should have.
So it had to be a little bit about the magical business.
Yeah, like it accelerated, haha, because you got, but like, and then she just falls over dead. What happens fucking blows. So then they have a party outside. Everything's great, and like people are happy, and the sky is green. Or the sky is blue and the grass is green, and they have a press conference, and all the news is like, hey, you're the most famous person in the world because you stopped that thing that you can't explain to us from happening. How do you feel? I'm going to Disneyland. And then Celestro flies down from the sky, and they're like, Celestro! Oh, God, he's stealing all our thunder.
He got shot by fucking lasers, and only half of the press made it in because they got shot by lasers, because Brian never got those fucking lasers shot
No,
off.
he never did anything about the
and the owl casualty in this film. I mean, we know that the new superhero guy would have been shot down immediately.
Yeah. So then Ted unplugs the audio from Celestro's mic, and then the press is like, wow, what a dork. That Celestro guy sucks. And that's the end of the movie.
Yep.
Because
they all laugh because they don't have any more powers, but they can fake it.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, but like, who gives a shit? Why is Celestro there at all? And then also, why is the press like, hey, that guy's mic isn't working. What a fucking loser. And then like Radiohead comes and like points and laughs at him. Why don't you cry about it, you little baby? Jeez, you cry baby.
Mm-hmm.
They were just looking for a reason not to like that guy because nobody really likes that guy. And they're like, all right, this is our excuse. Mike went out. We're going with it, okay? Like, this is our easy out. Now we don't have to pay attention to this man.
Dumb. Jackie, you got questions first.
So, do you think that Moonlight dates either Thunder or Maximum Justice after this event?
Throughout the movie, she's pretty snuggled up to Louis Gossett Jr., and I don't think there was really much. Like, I think that's just their thing. That's where they're at. Yeah.
You don't think? Because I mean, I'm looking at it as a lady, and she's definitely like throwing out the "Do you see me, Fab?"
But I think she's manipulating.
Maximus.
I think she's manipulating that way. I don't get me wrong. I think there's a couple wobbly H's coming up here and there, but for the most part, she's
I don't.
Okay.
I think that Louis Gossett Jr. and her are a couple, and now that Ted doesn't have cancer, Ray and Ted are just going to keep screwing around with whatever they're screwing around with.
Oh,
that's probably true.
Old people don't have anything else to do, Sam. There's wobbly H's coming. Casual. See, I mean, again, the bowl of keys. There's a whole like precedence for this. They screw. Old people screw. You ever done a London Bridge? They say to each other, "Want to? Fuck, why not?"
Brian shows up with a whole box of Viagra.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna be dead in like 2 years, so might as well.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is grumpy old men to blame for all this shit?
Ooh. It's a very similar question to what I have, but they are separate. Anything before grumpy old men?
But kind of, yeah, because it's got the same dynamic with Moonlight, Justice, and Thunder, where they both like the same lady.
It's
she's choosing one over the other.
Men. It's just putting bullshit in it, and it's been done now about 60 times.
60 fucking
a year.
Times.
And everybody's like, well, it'll be just like Grumpy Old Men, except we won't have any good writing or amazingly talented acting or any of that. But it'll be just like it. And you're like, oh, so you're going to have nothing that Grumpy Old Men has and be just like it.
We should literally change this podcast to Justin references Sunset Boulevard for some arbitrary reason. But outside of Grumpy Old Men, the only movie I can think of that existed before it about getting old and it sucks is Sunset Boulevard. It's all after Grumpy Old Men. And Sunset Boulevard is not Grumpy Old Men. Wow. That is a landmark movie, Sam. You have hit the nail bucket list. Grumpy Old Men. The old guys go to space movie. Grumpy Old Men.
Space Cowboys.
Grumpy Old Men. Anything with Robert Duvall post Lonesome Dove. Grumpy Old Men. About Schmidt, not really Grumpy Old Men.
Not really.
But the Helen Hunt, Jack Nicholson thing, as good as it gets, kind of Grumpy Old Men. So yeah, dude, that movie is landmark. And I don't like it.
And it's a fucking hilarious movie. It's really, everything about it's great. It's just that there's a reason why you can't do it, and it's because of the monumental levels of talent.
Right.
You can't look at the one gimmick and go, that's what worked about that. No. It worked in spite of that gimmick because of the amazing levels of talent, which was what they were fucking doing.
Completely. It's like if every movie after Dumb and Dumber was Dumb and Dumber. Look, the same type of sophomoric humor has existed forever, but like the premise of two super dumb guys. That didn't happen.
Dude, where's my car?
Oh yeah, but they're young. See, that's the thing. Are they Dumb and Dumber? Are they Lloyd and God, what the hell's Jeff Bridges'
Ultimately,
name?
I think
Daniels'
Dumb
name.
and Dumber is really just a play on some of the old Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis shit. So
yeah, true.
It's not. You can't even put it there.
Right.
And
Grumpy Old Man's on it.
Grumpy Old Men is an advancement of the Odd Couple, so it gets to be that landmark thing, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, man, that's crazy. I never even thought about that. But yeah, it's just Grumpy Old Men, and I'm tired of it. No more Grumpy Old Men, no more slow-mo walks. My question is, do old people like these types of movies? Like, is there a generational barrier between us and them? Like, when we get old, are we going to watch movies about old people and think it's funny? Or are we going to be like, fuck this old people movie still?
I think we're going to be able to relate to it because we'll be able to understand a little bit more of their trials and tribulations, and we'll be able to appreciate it a little bit more. Whereas right now, we can appreciate it, but we don't understand what it feels like to be ignored or invisible. We're almost there, but we're not quite there.
Yeah. No, I get all that, but I mean, like the stupid old people humor, like, well, they fart a lot. Do old people like Jackie? Don't get me wrong. I think About Schmidt's one of the greatest movies ever made. It is horribly depressing, and I fucking think it's fantastic. I can relate to that now. I mean, I can see that in a movie and say, wow, that's a powerful message. I'm talking about this dumb old guy thing. Like these old people, they're old.
I don't know that it's relatable enough, but it might be, right?
To overcome its shortcomings?
Yeah. I couldn't. There's only one way to find out. And it would involve showing this to somebody at that age, and I'm not watching this again.
Yeah. I'm just curious, like, do old people think this shit is hilarious when they get made fun of for being old? Over and over, the same jokes. Old people fart. Ha 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 ha. They're saggy. Ha 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 ha. It hurts. Their backs hurt all the time. Ha 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 ha. I would just eventually get angry at it.
But is it the same question as, did we find that shit funny when we were younger and that was our age group that they were poking fun at? And I'm going to say yes. I thought it was funny.
Huh.
We were all dumb shits and made terrible decisions. And
that's not really... Okay, I'm confused.
like, think of The Hangover, right?
I don't.
I've never seen that.
It's not funny at all.
Okay.
It's actually like really satirical on what it's trying to do, and it's actually mediocre at doing that. Are you talking about like party movies like American Pie or something like that? Porky's, one of those things, like people getting drunk and being stupid?
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Never mind.
Okay. Unclear on my question, I guess. Anybody else got anything?
No, that was my big one, was rooting out grumpy old men and trying to get people to stop it. And they're not going to do it. They're still going to make 10 to 60 of these a year.
Yep.
Go, and they'll say it out loud. This is going to be just like grumpy old men. And it's like, this has been 35 years and you're still trying to fucking work the gimmick rather than the magic. What the fuck?
This year, Tommy Lee Jones is old and grumpy, and he's a man.
They did that already. It was the end of that fucking Ad Astra movie. Boy, did that thing come off the rails when he showed up.
Next time, the sequel, Morgan Freeman is old and grumpy. Coming to theaters. It's called Tommy Lee Jones and Morgan Freeman are old grumpy guys. 2.
Yeah, because there's a million, like, I mean, there's Tom Hanks just did one, and it's like when the movie's actually trying to deal with that topic, it's not Grumpy Old Men, right? It's its own thing,
right?
But it's just fucking
just making fun of old people just pisses me off. And it's trite. It's trite and done and stupid. Final recommendations. I'll go first. I didn't like it. It's almost like there was points where I was like, is this just a mediocre, okay movie that fails to deliver the laughs that it wanted to, but then it just completely falls apart on every message it tried to. And like the whole conspiracy isn't very interesting at all. Like if it had been something big, like the government's involved, and now we have to really go out and do something to fight this corruption, that would have been interesting, maybe. But instead, they just go into town and some kid says, yeah, it's something down in the basement. You need to go back there. And it's a lady trying to make it. It like completely falls apart. Anything that it had to get me to 5 stars, because that's where it was going to max out at. Before that point was 5 stars. I'll give it 5 stars. It's fine. It's not good or bad. It's just 5 stars. Then the end happens, and I'm like, this shit sucks. So don't. It's not a good or a bad movie. It's not watchable in either sort of category. Damn.
Wow. You really gave it a high star ceiling. Because I was looking at this going, max 3 stars.
Until the end?
It was too boring to even fall apart for me. So obviously I'm giving it a don't, but the end is it's like a train wreck where the train doesn't like crash and explode. It just sort of like slows down and tips over.
It just goes.
Oh no,
there.
I fell. The train said.
Yeah.
But getting to that point was arduous. There was no jokes that I laughed at.
None, not really.
None.
No.
And
the side boob I almost chuckled at.
I am of a differing opinion than you on Bubba Hotep. I don't really like it that much, but I guess if you want to have a nursing home movie with a supernatural element, watch that instead, for God's sake.
That's fucking Bubba Hotep. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you're making Bubba Hotep look good, woo!
Woof.
Okay, Jax.
God, I'm gonna have to admit it now. I've been defending this turd the entire podcast, but I'm gonna say don't. I'm with Sam. Nothing really ever happens. It takes a long time for anything relevant. It just doesn't pull you in. It doesn't capture you in any way. There's nothing spectacular about this movie. It was just very blah. So I'm gonna say don't. I'm gonna apologize to anybody who listened or watched this before this podcast. And this is why I shouldn't be choosing movies before the podcast, because now somebody has watched this turd and is like, oh no, this was a waste of my time.
Yeah, it was a waste of your time. If you think about it, the plot outside of Jerry getting downgraded in the first 15 minutes, the plot of the film really doesn't start for the next 45 minutes of the movie. It's just a bunch of old people just out doing stuff and trying to be slanderous, I guess, about them being old. So no, fuck that. Next week on the
I would say if we're gonna also, if you want to do something around a retirement home, you want to laugh your ass off and have a good time and feel better about life afterwards, watch Man on the Inside with Ted Danson. Shit is great.
Yeah.
It is the
I have
polar opposite of this.
I've also watched that show, Sam, and I will second that. That is a great show. I hope they do a second season.
Lastly, speaking of old people, I was saddened to hear that David Lynch died this week, and who's my other guy that died this week, Sam?
I was hoping you would say the other guy that wasn't David Lynch.
God damn it! I can't believe I'm blanking on who else died this week.
The king of baseball.
Oh, fucking Bob Uecker. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Bob Uecker died.
Mr. Baseball. Yeah, those both suck. Old guys. So that's what we're going to leave you on, because I can't pull up my watch list to determine which movie we are going to do next. I have no idea. I've got some really weird ones on the line. But we're going to let you know. Get to the chopper.